All right. Now, what I want to do right now today is I really want to start with going over the SAT questions, make sure you're in good shape on those. I did make a little typo on one of them, so if you were a little confused, that's okay. So let's go down to this. Here we go. Yeah, let's start with the SAT. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to review this. All right. And again, on the test tomorrow, there's like 4 or 5 SATs. So here we go. I forgot I did them all together. All right, so here we go. Let's look at question number 43. All right. Now, on question number 43, it's just simply saying which one of those is the equation. All right. Now, again, for me personally, there are 2 ways of doing this. You can see all the, stop distracting. All right, we're working now. All right. I notice here that the y-intercept is -4. All right. I notice the y-intercept is -4. Now, again, this is just your choice. I look over here and I see what? The x-intercept is also what? -4. So here, if I'm looking, this is -4, comma 0. And this point down here is 0, comma -4. All right. Which means I can plug 0 in for y. I will get what? -4. All right. So let's do it that way. If I plug 0 in for y, for letter A, if I plug 0 in for y, do I get -4 for x?
No. Wait. Yes.
Yes, we do. All right, so that's a possibility so far. Do we understand that? If I plug 0, let me just make sure you're understanding. X minus 0 equals -4. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug 0 in for x. So if I plug 0 in for x, I get -y equals -4. Does everybody see that? But that would mean y equals +4. So is that the answer?
No.
No, that's not the answer because the y-intercept is -4, not +4. So A is out. Now, again, I'm going to plug 0 in for y. If I plug 0 in for y, is x -4?
No.
No, that is not it. So it cannot be B either. What?
Could you instantly say that? Actually, numerology.
Yeah, you have good thought process right there. All right, yeah, I would want you, but most kids don't see that right off the bat. All right, but what I want to show you is now, if I plug 0 in for y here, is x -4?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so that's a possibility. So now I'm going to plug 0 in for x. If I plug 0 in for x, is that -4 also?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why the correct answer here was C. That's why the correct answer was C. All right. Anybody have any issues with that? All right. So now, number 44 is the one that's really important. So I want everybody to put a little star by this one. All right. The reason why this looks harder is because we've only been dealing with what? X's and Y's, and now all of a sudden they're throwing in T's and D's. Well, what is the T? Probably.
Time.
Yes, but is it the X or the Y?
X.
The X, right. And the Y value is what?
D.
D. Right off the bat, that's what you should be thinking. All right? So nothing out of the ordinary now, correct? So now my question to you is, does everybody agree these are all written in y equals mx plus b?
Yes.
Y y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. And y equals mx plus b. I'm just trying to show you they're all written in that format. It just starts with a different letter, right? So I want to remind everybody, what is b? What is b called? Well, that should be automatic now. What is b called? The y-intercept. And the y-intercept is when the x value is 0. So someone tell me, what's the y-intercept of this equation?
15.
15. Thank you very much. How did we know that? Because it's when the x value is 0. So right off the bat, I now know that the answer is either what?
A or E, G, or
F or H. Because those both have y-intercepts of 15. Now, it would be helpful for me right now if you would say, man, I have no idea what you're talking about, if you're not sure. What? So, do you understand the y-intercept is 15? What is the y-intercept? When, yes, it's also when the x value is 0. Right? So,
T is the x value.
So this, what?
And T is the x value.
Do not, I mean, you can't blame it on the contacts today. You with me? X is 0. That's the y-intercept. You good now? So that's how I know that the correct answer is either F or H. Is everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to look at, what is M called?
Slope.
The slope. All right? So the slope is either 1 or it's 3. The slope is 1 or 3. So what's the slope?
3.
3. How did I know that?
Because it goes up by 3.
Up 3, and this is up what?
1.
1. That is correct. Up 3 and 1.
What did you just do?
So remember, slope, this is what I want everybody to remember. Slope is the change in y over the change in x. So I went from 15 to 18. How much did I change? 3. From 0 to 1, I changed what? So the slope is 3. Oscar? So that's how I know the correct answer is H. What?
So how many of these are in the test?
That's 4 or 5, I think. Right? Anybody have? Yes, go. That's okay. So look, if I went from 18 to 21, how much did I go up? From 1 to 2. That's why the slope is 3. Right? From any 2 points, the slope is always up 3 over 1. That's it. That's all there is to it. All right? And again, let's say you don't like using a table. You could just say 0, 15 and 1, 18, and now find the slope. 18 minus 15, 1 minus, yeah, that's all it is. Right? What?
And the slope doesn't have to be a whole number, right? It can be a fraction.
It can be a fraction. We did slopes that are fraction. What?
What if it is over 1?
Yes, exactly, over 1. All right, here we go. Let's check out 45. All right, so now I need to put this into the right format. Y equals mx plus b. All right, now again, this is my opinion, so please listen. All right, I need it in the form y equals mx plus b. And I always try to tell kids I want the y value to be what? Positive, right? Does everybody agree? I want the y value to be positive. Right now, the y value is what?
Negative.
So to me, it would be easier to move the y. When I move the y, it becomes what?
9.
If I move the y becomes what?
Positive.
Positive, right? So if it's negative y on the left, it's going to be what?
Positive y.
Positive y on the right. So y equals, did I move the 9x with the negative 5?
No.
No, so they stayed 9x minus 5.
And you just canceled off the 0.
Well, because 0 plus y is, yes,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes.
If I wanted to, I could put y plus 0, but that wouldn't make sense. Okay, so that's why my answer is y equals 9x minus 5.
Okay, wait. Can it also be g? Because if you didn't,
So,
wait, never mind. I figured it out.
right? What?
After you were like done like solving it, you moved it to the left, but it didn't change the negative sign.
No, what I did was this. Here's what is very confusing, right? If I say this, if I say 3 equals x, x equals 3, right? So I didn't move them, I rotated. You with me on that? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Right? What?
Could you have gotten the same answer if you didn't move the y over?
So let's do this. All right, I'm glad you asked. So now watch. 9x minus y minus 5 equals 0. So now most kids would say, okay, let's just do this. Let's move the 9x over here and move the negative 5 over. So negative y equals negative 9x plus 5. You see that?
Yes.
So the y, though, is still negative. That's where most people make their mistake. So the negative means change all the signs. So when I do that, that becomes y equals 9x minus 5. Same answer.
Sorry.
All right, next. I feel like everybody should be able to tell me this slope. I went from here to here. So because I'm going down, I know the slope has to be what?
Negative.
So it's not j or k. So how much did I go down?
3. 2.
3. And then I went to the right.
2.
So the slope, negative 3 over 2. Everybody good? Okay. Yeah, 47 is the one where I kind of made a mistake. I forgot, or I erased something and didn't put it back. So I want the slope of this, and I want you to compare it to the slope of that. What's the slope? And this again, remember, is column A, and this is column B. What's the slope of column A? 2, or 2 over 1, yes. What's the slope of column B?
X.
What's the slope of a horizontal line?
Y.
Say it, 0, thank you. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. So which one is the correct answer? A is correct. All right. Anybody have any issues with that? What?
What about? Never mind. Isn't a vertical line just undefined?
Vertical line is undefined. Okay.
Why isn't the 2 negative?
What's the number in front of the x?
2.
Why are you wanting to be changed?
Oh wait.
All right. You're good. All right. Here we go. What's the slope of the given line? Help me, guys.
3.
3. What's the y-intercept?
7.
What's the y-intercept?
Negative 7. Negative 7.
Negative 7. So what's the correct answer? Remember, this is A and this is B.
A.
A is bigger.
It is.
You're just comparing 3 to negative 7, right?
Oh, no.
All right, let's look at 49. Well, that one I don't have much to tell you. The y-intercept. right? Remember, y equals mx plus b. And remember, b is the y-intercept, correct?
It'd be -1.
Yes, so it's negative. Everybody still good? Right. And then 50. You guys are okay with 11/3? Just using a formula, right? M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Anybody have any issues? Do you have any issues? Okay, so now what I'm interested in is those of you guys who did the work. All right, I have all of the solutions now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post them, but I also want to hear if you're like, man, I tried, I wasn't sure, I just want to check my answer. All right, does anybody want me to do anything that is dealing with the odds? Jack, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Weber.
39.
All right, let's take a look at 39. Now on 39, again, we had to divide both sides by what?
4.
-4, which created what? Y equals -2, right?
What is it?
I'm sorry, +2.
Yeah, I don't know why.
All right, so that's just a horizontal line, graphing y equals 2. Nothing? Good. All right, let's take a look at 27. Okay. Well, let's look at my notes real quick. All right, so remember, we want x-intercept, which means what? The y value is 0, right? And the y-intercept is when x equals 0, right? So now, you're good enough right now. If I want the x-intercept, I'm just going to let the y value be 0. If I let the y value be 0, then you're just solving 2x equals 6. Makes sense, right? So that's how I got 3. You agree with that? Now when I do the y-intercept, I'm now going to let the x be 0. So I'm really just looking at this, saying solve that equation. So y equals 2. And then you have that point, and you have that point, and you just plug it in. Make sense? All right, somebody else. Now remember, I've been nagging for 9 weeks for some of you, and I've been contacting your parents, and you finally decided to listen to what I'm saying, take my advice, and now you did really good for the last couple weeks. Don't stop now just because it's a new 9 weeks and say, oh, I got this. You got to study tonight. All right? The test tomorrow is about half of that work. It's about half the number of questions. It's in the exact same format. All right? The first problems are going to be take the line, tell me the slope. That's the first problems. The next problems are going to be write or find the slope from the given points. Exactly the same. Then you're going to write the equation. Then graph the line. Exactly the same. Then you're going to have to graph using x-intercept and y-intercept. Then you're going to have to graph using the slope and y-intercept. Then there'll be 3 or 4 SAT questions. It's exactly the same. There are 50 questions. I think there's 28 on your test. I'm telling you, it's nothing different. Nothing different at all. You got to know horizontal. You got to know vertical. Y equals mx plus b. You got to be able to talk math. X-intercept, y-intercept. Delta y over delta x. All right? I have all of the odds are on the internet, explained in detail if you want them. All of the evens are on the internet, explained in detail if you need it. I will sit down and I will put this on if you just want to double check your answers. That's fine also. All right? But Oscar has one last thing. So Oscar wants help with number 5.
Why did you have to move it to
What's the slope, Oscar?
the
And what is 15 over 6 reduced to?
3 over 2. Me. 5 over 2.
What's your question? All right, nothing is what I want to hear. Slope was 5 over 2. All right. Anybody else have a last second question? Good for you, Brian. What?
17.
All right, let's look at 17 for a second. Now, do you understand I could do for you 1/5 minus 2/3? But I realized it wasn't important because the denominator is 7 minus 7, which is 0. You hear me? You're not allowed to have 0 in the denominator. That automatically means that it's undefined. If something is undefined, or if the slope is undefined, that means it was a vertical line. You with me on this? All right. Now, do I care if you use your calculator? No, I don't even care if you do 1/5 minus 2/3 on the calculator. But I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter, correct? Because we did 7 minus 7, which was 0. What?
Can you have a 0 in the numerator?
0 in the numerator means the slope is 0. 0 in the denominator means it's undefined. 0 in the numerator means that it's a horizontal line. 0 in the denominator means it's a vertical line. That's what I'm trying to show you. Ryan, do you have anything else? All right, good job. All right, so let's end it there. All right, I will put this recording up too if you want the explanation to the SAT questions. Again, guys, I'm telling you, it's no different. It's going to be no different whatsoever tomorrow. All right, you have to know how to do everything. All right, algebra is getting a little bit more complicated now that we're talking about lines. You can't get behind. All right, next week we're going to talk about writing equations. All right, parallel and perpendicular, all kinds of stuff. All right, so please make sure you are in good shape. All right, my homeschool peeps, how's it going? All right, please study tonight. Study, study, study. All right, review these problems. My advice is either to do the odds or do the evens. For those of you guys who are a little uncertain, do them all. Do all 50 again. All right? But make sure whatever you do, you're checking your answers and make sure you're doing them right. It's pointless to come in and say, I did all the review over and then they did them all wrong. That's why I post the solutions. All right? My homeschool peeps, you guys, hopefully are staying safe. All right? And hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care now.
Bye, Mr. Stroud. And also thank you for posting the solutions.
Take care. What?
I said goodbye and thank you for posting the solutions.
You're welcome. I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye.
day.